She is a learning innovator, researcher, and activist, currently serving as AI and learning lead for Master Plus at InnoEnergy, a European network of engineering and business universities. She has coordinated international online and hybrid initiatives, supported entrepreneurial innovation, and co-designed AI-driven edtech solutions. Her work focuses on active and blended learning, collaborating with educators and engineers worldwide. And today, she will energize us with her talk on the quest for our own humanity in light of AI. Inge, floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. I'm going to stand here because I have a tendency to move. And because, of course, I was really interested in knowing what the general feel was of our, all of our emotions on the impact of AI. I'm hearing myself from somewhere. Is it this? Maybe the platform. No? So I went to the Oracle of Porto. I asked the Oracle of Porto, well, what is your single most important emotion if you think about the impact of AI? And the Oracle of Porto told me, yes. Indeed. And so I think we all recognize one another in the Oracle of Porto. Now, I come from a long line of seafarers, which means that I can see how we are all in this perfect storm. And I'm an optimist. No matter how hard the storm hits me, hits all of us, I can see that we can reach a safe haven. The ship is our ship, all of our ships. Sailing ships that are the university's symbol of centuries of craftsmanship, human values, innovation, and sturdiness. So we can do this. We've been there before. Other technologies have emerged, and first we were like enthralled, mobile learning, MOOCs, anything. Oh, yes, and as teachers, we can see how this creates opportunities. And then we get appalled because the system is catching up, it's being formalized, and honestly, it's no longer the vision that we all had as researchers, as teachers. It's never about mastering the machine. It's what Maxime said. It is how we as humans use this new technology, in this case, AI. I talked to many of you, and I think we are in a vulnerable position as researchers, as universities. You probably heard about this. I mean, a commencement speak in Harvard was booed. The speaker talked about AI, and it was booed by the students because they know AI impacts early job professions. That means that the start of these brilliant graduates is immediately much more difficult. So yes, they ought to protest. They ought to resist. If we look at ourselves, we have a workload that is already massive. Most of us already know that we have been or are being right-sized in our universities. And as if that isn't enough, now everybody says, yes, and on top of your workload, please take on AI and put it in your curricula or your research as well, which again increases it. We have tightened budgets. We have to work within the rigid structures of our universities. I mean, just try to keep up with AI and integrate it in your masters with the rigid administrative structures we have. Is there anyone who can rebuild a master within like a month? It's fairly difficult. And as if that isn't enough, I think the core of the difficulty is that we as humans get or risk at getting alienated. It's what Maxime said. We need to take into account how AI affects us, and we need to, of course, align it with everything that we do. Because AI emerged from academia. And what do academics do? We always think about the ethical side, about how we can give back to society. So we do it naturally. And all of a sudden, AI turns out to be the most successful, financially successful academic spin-off ever. This also means that we are now outside. We are consumers, users, observers, which makes it much harder to add it to an ethical layer. AI is now a co-founder of businesses. Students are learning with AI, skipping mentorship, some support that they could use from other humans, like teachers, like us. So we are in a difficult position. And our work stress is also increasing. This means we have a lot of debates. You could hear it in the corridors, lots of debates. And interestingly, if you look at reports and how people promote AI, it's quite often about how efficient AI can be. Personally, efficiency doesn't it doesn't rock my boat. Doesn't make me enthusiastic because it's a value that is not mine. Efficiency is always connected to a financial efficiency. And we are humans. If it were to be like efficiency to safeguard our planet using AI, we can safeguard our planet in 2 months' time. Yes, I want to be efficient. I want to be efficient for all the good reasons. But it's never about that. It's sometimes it is. Most of the times it's financial benefit. So this means there's something wrong because efficiency in itself is already used for propaganda reasons. Now let's look at Europe. We have a lot of things that could benefit the way AI goes, because I'm going to say, yes, we can merge AI with the values that we have, with the ethics that we have. We are built on an ethical layer, which is nice. It's protected by EU governance, so that's nice. We have industry who are also willing to collaborate with academia. Because yes, we refer to big tech, but European industry asks for collaborations. They really want to work with research centers, with universities, because they sit on top of much data. And they know researchers can use that data to come up with innovations. So we have all these wonderful things at our fingertips that we can use. So how do you use all of this as an alternative to what AI seems to be right now, or government is? Promotional slide, admitting. So I work for InnoEnergy, but I will tell you why I show this. InnoEnergy is a European organization. We have 1,400 partners. Those partners are industry, as well as research centers, as well as multiple technical universities in Europe and business university units as well. And I think this might be an answer to getting to this alternative AI combination. Why? Because at least we are bridging industry with academia. You don't get this network overnight, admittingly, and it looks, well, who knows where it started? Give a guess. Where did it start? What? No. That would be, no. It started at the dinner table at UPC, at an academic from UPC in Barcelona. They came together and they said, why don't we come up with a nice system so that we have access to industry, we can share the research that we have, and that we have like a more powerful, trusted ecosystem. Great! 16 years ago, the idea was launched, and people worked together, and 16 years later, we have this. Does it always work? No, it's hard. And we're just surviving. But at least it gives us an alternative, a European alternative. Now, I'm going to focus, of course, on what it means if you work together with industry to tackle or to provide this more humane-centered AI. I will use this example. This is like a new master we are glad to develop for the European Union. It was launched in September 2025. It's a 4-year funded project, 6 million and something. We have 14 partners in the consortium that we put into the proposal. And it's 2 years of development, applying for students, all of that. You know this. So you can imagine it has a couple of challenges. The challenges are keeping up with AI. This is really tough because one partner was an industry partner. They got like a nice big chunk of the funding, and 8 months in, it's no longer needed because AI is a tool that we can use freely for specifically that reason. So it's hard. Then, of course, we need to align AI with the fact that we want to use it somehow for the Green Deal. This is a lot of tension together. Now, luckily, we can, and we do have alumni in our network that actually provide greener alternatives, or at least CEO reductions for data centers. So there is a movement of innovation going that way. We need to keep all partners aligned. Anybody who knows how difficult it is to keep everybody aligned? Raise hands, please. Difficulties? Yes. We should come together, talk. Yes, I want to learn. And we also need to come up with innovative learning options with AI as a co-creator. That's where I come in, instructional background and interest in AI. This means everything needs to be redesigned. Every process, every bit of curriculum that we have, everything we want to do is seen against the mirror or the viewpoint of AI. And it starts from the students. It has been mentioned before. Where are the students? What does it mean for the students? And how can we support them? And also point them towards more of a humane use of AI. So we set up value proposition workshops. Now, normally those are like surveys, and then students click. That doesn't mean anything. We wanted to have a real showdown. What of our masters that we already have across Europe, so joint degrees, all of them, what do you like? What are we missing? What do we totally fail at? And what would you think would be very attractive for you as a student? 18 hours of recordings. That's a tough one for crunching data, for qualitative data. So we used Claude in connection, Claude, the Anthropic model, it was model 4.6, with Obsidian. In 2 weeks' time, we had a full data analysis and we had it validated by our expert marketeers who were in the room during the value proposition. Why am I saying this? Because it started at the beginning. This is where we use AI to understand humans better and validate it. So all of the processes have been viewed in a different way. We also have, of course, a couple of things that already worked, like the data science summer school. 2 weeks, very short, industry and universities working together and building trust. Trust was mentioned by Maxime as well, and trust is mentioned in many, many presentations. I think this is essential if you want to work with partners. By starting with some small ones, trust gains, then you go to internships, you can go to thesis writing, everything that we do already. It works, because industry then knows, okay, we want your students, and students know we can skip the early part in our jobs. We can really immediately go to mid-level. So we are taking away the impact of AI for some of the students. The same with business intelligence and entrepreneurship. We add AI as a co-creator. Why? Because this is the reality of the students. It's not something we would do naturally, but we learn from them. They are using it, so what does it mean? How can we keep the human at the center if we do it? The nice thing is, because they do it, they also come up with business reports, proposals for new startups. Now, I am going somewhere with the list of this. This is not like, ooh, look at what we do. No, no, I will make the loop soon. So, with this business proposals, we screen them, because you might remember that we have venture capital investors in our partners, in our shareholders. If we see that it's a good plan, we support them, we give them money, they can grow, and we invest in them all the way to unicorn level. Does it work? Yes, because they trust us, we trust them, and we validate all the business proposals to the detail. This means that at a certain point, multiple alumni either have their own company or they work for big renewable industry companies. And this is where the nice thing happens, where there is an enormous boost in trust and in collaboration. And I'm telling this because this is how you get the funding, okay? This is the funding that we do not use optimally yet. Alumni empowerment for the C-suite. What did our students, alumni say during the value proposition? The problem is we are excellent professionals when we graduate from the masters, but we do not seem to get into the C-suite level positions. Okay, let's see what it takes. My colleague, Juan Maldonado, said, okay, let's talk to the C-suite people in our partnership ecosystem. And now we have small pockets of alumni learning from C-suite people on how to get there, because those are different skills. But if any alumni gets to be into an industry, surely they will be able to push some funds into our partnerships. So, okay, this is a way to bridge, right? The industry with academia, and it works. In just 2 years, we have 2 alumni now in C-suite decision-maker places. And yes, we are happy. We all think, oh, we're not brilliant, but we're doing something that makes sense. But using AI might be a temporary success. It might also be an illusion because it is orchestrated externally. We believe all of these things because they seem to work, because they seem to add to efficiency, but maybe they're not. Because we are in dark times. Students go to AI for support, mental support. We also just believe whatever AI gives us, and we say, yes, we look at it very critically, but do we? Do we really know the system? I don't know. There is this new trend, second brain. Anybody having a second brain? Yes? So a second brain is really interesting from a researcher perspective. You put everything you have, your corpus, into the folder, like any papers, posts, emails, anything you've ever written. If you did presentations, your presentations, everything into it. And then, based on this grounded model, AI will make emails or give you brainstorming ideas based on who you are. So it's an external second brain that you have. It even has your writing voice and everything. The problem is, of course, we have the feeling it thinks with us. But a needle is always nudged very quietly, bit by bit. So we risk that the AI that is used on our second brain is actually thinking for us. Now, where do we stand with this? If we look at the bigger picture, we all know colleagues who have been laid off, or at least I know colleagues who have been laid off with right-sizing. And so, yes. And then I'm happy I'm not right-sized, but I mean, if somebody is laid off without clear reasons, and you can imagine that it's because of agentic AI that is being used to automate, then you know that I could be next. So how do we keep from being next, and what can we do in order to push back and ensure that our universities are not all of a sudden only catering to the few, to the elite? So let's reflect again. What do we have? Oh yeah, the machine. Oh yeah, we shouldn't use it, but we should use or focus on our humanity. We have still, because we are so many, we are here, strong intellectual power as universities. Do we really know Gen AI? No. Well, not the big tech Gen AI. We don't know it because it's not transparent. Is there a way to get to know it? Is there any hope that we might have? I will give you my symbol of hope. Just think about your symbol. Is there hope? Of course, there is. And my hope is this. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Lina Tridenti was 102 years old when the picture was taken. She was raised under Mussolini. Mussolini said, let's make Italy great again. We have a history of fabulous Roman empires, and we will transform the world to incorporate all these wonderful, strong values. And Lina Tridenti walked, together with her family, walked on the drums of Mussolini. Yes, because it sounds good, and you are proud of your region. I mean, we all are proud of our region. The problem was, of course, when her brothers, and her siblings or nephews were sent off to war because they thought they were doing the right thing. After a year, if they came back with war stories, atrocious war stories. So everything that was promoted was not aligned with the actions that they found themselves in. And so what did Lina do together with her family? She entered into the resistance. Semplicemente resistere. That's the only thing we need to do. It's simple. Resist, push back. A revolution is never coming overnight. It comes because individuals see that they need to push back. And who is better placed than researchers and teachers to understand the ease of pushing back? Teachers. She was a teacher, the best job of all. So, okay, let's do this. Let's resist. I was thinking, Lina, you're right. Who am I to doubt you? You have this power, this knowledge. So I went back to Gen AI. I was thinking, okay, how am I using it? As a vending machine. I vibe code, yes. I'm totally geeking out on AI because I love new technologies. Vibe coding, prompting, telling people what to do, exploring tools, all of that. And then I said, I'm not going to use it as a vending machine anymore. I'm not going to accept what it delivers me as if this is what I want. I'm going to really enter into a dialogue. And I'm going to keep a log, a translation log, to see what it really is. Because what is the one thing that Gen AI from big tech has that it cannot solve? It is not transparent, but it needs a window created for us to enter into dialogue with. So although it's not transparent, if we do not talk to this dynamic library, which is LLM, it ceases to exist. It has no more meaning. So they need to keep the dialogue open. So why not use the dialogue and really drill down to it? We all are able of dialectical conversations. And if we teach our students these dialectical conversations, they will increase their critical thinking. It happens as I'm doing it. I'm showing 3 easy examples of how simply by entering into a dialogue, you can see so much more. Because hallucinations, an idiot can see that if a computer model says 2 + 2 is 3, it's wrong. Hallucinations are not the problem. The problem is semantics, how they use language to say, yes, what I am delivering to you is wonderful and just what you're looking for. It is so friendly that students effectively think, this is an ideal partner. They fall in love. We had one student in December, total psychosis due to AI. And we can also see how it admits to have a Western Cartesian frame of mind and how it has this tendency to round up. So hallucinations aren't always very visible, but they can be made visible. So I invite you to do this. This is like real fun. I call it real fun. Always keep a log of what you learn. And we try to embed this in this new master that we're building, specifically for our students. Because there's an easy fail-safe to make it very clear to students that it is a machine. Do a conversation, copy all of the interventions that you have, put them on a page. A week later, start the same conversation, pasting your first comment, this is my question, then I did this, then I did this, then I did this. Do not read how AI is then replying, no. Just copy, paste into your second conversation and look at it. You cannot deny the fact that it has patterns and that it is a machine. So there is a fail-safe possible. We do not go all the way into automation. We use augmentation, For a simple reason, it's research. There is evidence that augmentation actually works in the long run. And augmentation means at least there's one person. So that's good. And our master degrees also are combined with stackable courses, like small nuggets. Why? Because they allow us to quickly move into the new realms that are coming up. Because it's difficult. I mean, not one single person can keep up with all of these changes. Does it make a difference? Well, we will see. I have the impression that at least we highlight the fact that humans are important, so there's a little bit of resistance. There is also other opportunities, like, so in this day and age, a lot of papers are written with AI, which is okay, I guess. I mean, you try out the tool, but then you risk losing the viewpoint of experts, of researchers. But we all have such a high workload that we simply cannot churn out paper after paper because we are diving into AI, keeping on top of our work, all of that. So there was a paper just released with 37 authors in it. And everybody only needed to do like a small bit, thinking about AI from our backgrounds and combining it. Of course, the coordinator still had to do a lot of work, but at least it gives us real dissemination. Not pushed, no, trusted dissemination. Helen Crontum, her network, all of the co-authors, their network, we're saying this is what we think, this is completely human-based, read it. So there are alternatives. The key question is, of course, can we resist? What do you think? Can we resist? Resistance? Yes, yes, yes. We can do this. If we don't do it, who will? We're in a safe environment. We do this. We have everything we need. We have universities, still strength. We still have students. We have the choice to invite them to pick up human responsibilities, human values. We create deep meaning. You could see it, because otherwise students wouldn't be booing at speakers. No, they know the deeper meaning that they need. We have pipelines to industry, because industry is asking us to work together. They are in the same boat with us. They have the data. They need to find people who can use that data without having to hire tons of other people. They need innovation, and innovation, creation, that's what humans can give. So we have that. And of course, we can also research more deeper the combination of humans with AI in the dialectical conversations, but also in really entering into a dialogue with the students, how they feel, and with everybody who had years of experience with these systems. We need to, resistance means collaboration. That's basically it. And I think collaboration is something we can do. So now I'm coming back. You know, like the seafarer person here. Yeah. So I thought, okay, how can I show without AI what my perfect vision is of this combination of how we can resist, how we can reinvent, how we can use innovation in order to get somewhere, us all together as Eden members, as humans within academia. I will share the vision. totally. That's Wim's boat. So, thank you very much.